Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know where we are?
We are in Ecclesiastes.
We are.
And we just finished chapter 6.
Correct.
And we said we were going to do a Patreon episode, but we never did.
We didn't.
So we're kind of, we suck a little bit sometimes right now.
We do, but sometimes there's too much and not enough time.
Yeah. No, that's what happened.
And that is what happened. So we owe a thing.
So yeah, we didn't do a thing anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it soon.
We will. Sorry.
But not today.
Sorry.
Or yesterday.
Sorry.
So anyway, we just finished chapter 6 of Ecclesiastes.
Sure as fuck did.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ecclesiastes chapter 7.
All right, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 7.
Okay.
A good name is better than fine perfume.
Wow. A good name is better than fine perfume.
Your reputation. Having a good reputation.
See, here I was trying to think of good names, and all that came to my head was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh
I don't know why, but I thought, that's a good fucking name.
That is a
Pee Wee Herman.
That is a good fucking name.
And may he rest in peace.
Yes.
But,
but that is not what they're going for here,
no.
I think.
I mean, how can you ever forget a name like Pee Wee Herman?
You cannot.
You can never forget that name.
Nope, you cannot.
But yeah,
they're talking about reputation.
Reputation, yeah, reputation is important too.
And keeping up your reputation for being a good, decent, reliable person is better than perfume.
I mean, it is. I don't like perfume, so I would always agree with that.
Oh my God. Okay, it's better than not being stinky. It's better than being a fine-smelling person.
Got it, yeah.
And the day of death, better than the day of birth.
Why? Probably
because you will have lived life. And so everybody knows your name, like a bar.
I guess. But to me, my day of birth is so much better than my day of death because I have so much more life ahead of me.
That's what I would think. But these are people looking at things differently.
Right.
They're looking at death means that all of the hardship is behind you and the only thing left is your name and your reputation and you're off to better places.
But you're not, though.
I mean, according to them, you are.
Right. But I mean, I'm just saying, that's why I'm not down with that.
Right. I'm just saying that's probably what they think.
Sure. No, I get it.
It is better to go to a house of mourning than to a house of feasting. For death is the destiny of everyone. And the living should take this to heart. I don't know if that's
I don't know that I agree with. Again.
Death isn't my quote unquote destiny. I'm not aiming for death.
No, it's just something that's inevitably going to happen.
Right.
And I definitely am not trying to speed along to that point,
It's like they went from it's so sad, we're all going to die. And they went from I can't hardly deal with it to deal with this so much that's just where you're going, and so you want to shoot for it. And I'm like, whoa, there's a happy medium where you understand that you're gonna die, but you don't let that color your days.
Right.
Except insofar as how do you want to be remembered and what do you want to accomplish before you're gone?
Well, I mean, just to put us in context of where we're talking about thousands of years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these people had to have been way more concerned about death than we are today.
Sure.
Now, that being said, even today, in this day and age, people are very concerned about death. That's why religion is so prominent, and it's why we
try to stay young. And
it's a very...
all those creams to remove your wrinkles and whatever.
Right, but life expectancy back then was not what it is today.
Right.
Though we're going in the wrong direction today.
Yeah,
but
yes,
still,
we are. In America, anyway.
It was a lot more relevant and imminent, probably, for them, even at a younger age back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe it was a bigger subject.
Sure.
that being said, I still don't agree with the sentiments exactly because they're based in a religious world.
Right. No, totally agree with you. Frustration is better than laughter because a sad face is good for the heart. That's not what I hear.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Frustration is better than laughter because a sad face is good for the heart.
Again, where are they getting this fucking information?
Every science I've ever read is the
right,
opposite.
Yeah,
opposite.
No.
Smiling is good for you.
Right.
And laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
And trying to make the best out of a bad situation,
and
etc.
a sourpuss is bad for you.
And it gives you wrinkles.
Right?
See?
Yeah.
The heart, I'm trying to think, okay, am I taking this out of context? Am I not understanding a greater message here? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, frustration is better than laughter. Maybe they mean that letting your anger fire you up to give you forward motion is better than just being frivolous and silly.
I suppose you could.
Frittering away your time.
I suppose you could take it to mean that.
Maybe that's what they mean, and it's just poorly translated and poorly phrased.
I don't know. There was the other bit about
a sad
death
face is
and all that, and how they were, death is better than birth.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is not what you're like. I appreciate your try at trying to make it have a better meaning, but I don't feel like that's what this is.
I feel like also they're saying if you have a sad face, that means you're a serious person. But if you have a smiley face and you're happy all the time, then you're just a frivolous, silly. Like you're a clown.
You know what? They can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
So
you're only as old as your demeanor, not your age.
Right. No wonder you guys had lower life expectancies.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with your lack of advanced medicine.
Right. No, that wasn't it at all.
The heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of pleasure.
Okay, so they are equating happiness to sin essentially, and frowning to seriousness.
Yes.
So you were closer actually than I was, I think, as far as your take on it. Like they're trying to portray this serious side versus this frivolous side.
So they're not saying necessarily, at least as far as I'm taking this, don't be happy. What they're saying is don't waste your money on lots of wine and sex houses of pleasure and stuff like that. And, you can be happy and smile, but don't let it be over frivolous fripperies.
Sure. I also think that they had a very warped sense of idea as to what happiness meant and serious meant back then too. It's not exactly correct.
No, it's
not. It's not even close to correct, actually.
Because if I'm in my backyard looking at that wild bunny, and I know I keep bringing this bunny up, but man, he's cute.
Yeah.
There's nothing cuter than a wild bunny.
Right.
That comes and visits your backyard.
Yeah.
And if I'm smiling, I'm not being frivolous and frippering away my time.
You're just enjoying.
I'm accepting
life.
One of the small pleasures of life.
Yeah.
Some religious folk might even call it one of God's gifts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because I'm not.
Right.
But, try to reconcile those two, y'all.
Yeah. I don't know what they're getting at here, and I don't this whole book thus far has been very down.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Yes.
Very not happy.
Right. Very depressed. Eeyore. Womp womp.
And so I feel like this is we talked about this earlier, but this is a style of writing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was that barely made it into
pessimism literature that barely made it
into the Bible.
Yeah.
But they're trying to turn it to make even this type of writing toward God.
Yeah.
At some level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not working for me.
No, me neither. I'm not its target audience, granted, but still. Right. It is better to heed the rebuke of a wise person than to listen to the song of fools. I mean...
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But I feel like we're digging back into Proverbs here almost.
We are,
so.
Yeah. Like the crackling of thorns under the pot, so is the laughter of fools. This too is meaningless.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, sometimes it's
you guys
fun
are kind of just
you're boring.
Heels.
You're boring.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like a good fool to make me laugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
some of the funniest movies, you know, Monty Python.
Right.
I'm not going to feel ashamed for enjoying those and for having a good laugh at some fools.
Definitely.
So there. Extortion turns a wise person into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. So don't extort people and don't bribe them.
Yeah, if you were a stand-up person to begin with, though, you probably wouldn't have done that in the first place.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't think those actions do it. The person did it.
Do you ever get those? Not tweets? What are they? Emails. I had to think of what all the
from the Nigerian prince.
No, not that one.
Oh no,
I know you get that one. Yeah, we all do.
Right.
He's really busy.
He is.
Do you ever get the ones that say, "Oh, I caught you. I have hacked into your computer, and I have pictures and video of you"?
No, you're the only one that's got that one so far.
I've gotten that.
But you got that multiple times.
I've got that at least 3 times in the last 2 years.
And they're like, "You need to give us money, or we're going to share this with everybody you know."
And like, here's my thing: like, I do not watch porn, not because I'm anti-porn. But just because, like, that's not my thing. Like, it's not what gets my rocks off, okay? Like, sure. TMI, but I'm just not into it. Like, if you are, that's great. Go to it. Go to town. Do what you need to do
no judgment.
Do your thing, you know? But that's not it for me. So I'm just like, what exactly is it that you think you saw me doing? And go ahead and I'm not going to pay you and just release it because
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit because even if somehow... you saw me, masturbating or something? I guarantee you that the computer was not my target audience, so the camera was not adjusted properly for it.
Besides, if you were spying on me, you should have seen my bank account and that I'm not worth your fucking time.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I can guarantee you fucking nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. I'm just
I don't
not
know.
worried.
You should check out OnlyFans. Apparently, everybody wants to see everything.
Well... then whatever.
I'm just saying.
Good luck to you. Go ahead and see what kind of money you can make off of that. You know, best of luck. I'm not worried about it. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
A, no, you didn't.
Right.
You did not. And B, if you did, bet. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So that's all I got to say about that. But has anybody else received those emails? Is my question, because husband and kid have not received those emails.
Right.
We all get the Nigerian prince, though.
Of course. Well, I mean, not so much anymore, but that was a thing of it's kind of it's evolved from there.
Yeah, no, I don't get the Nigerian prince. You're right. I get now the ones that are from like UPS and FedEx saying that they have my package.
Right. And or your
like,
order is something or other or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're really good at this stuff.
They are.
It's definitely gotten a lot better.
Oh, sometimes I get Amazon, your order has been canceled, and I'm like, joke's on you. I didn't order anything today.
Right. Public service announcement. If you get an email from somebody saying you need to give them information, just fucking don't.
Right.
Like any link, email, ever, anything, don't give people information ever.
No matter how real
unless
it
you
looks.
Contact them and look up their phone number.
Mm-hmm.
You do not give them information.
Just go ahead and delete that email and assume it's bad. And then if you're like really just like insecure, like log all the way out of everything and then go into your fucking actual account where you think the problem might lie.
Yeah.
And check it out. And I guarantee you that if you owe money, it will be right there on the front page.
Right.
Of your login.
It surprises me how many people fall for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like, I mean, like normal people.
Right.
And they'll tell me like, oh yeah, I just got hacked and got, $50,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
50. Oh my God.
I'm like, you have $50,000 to lose. And yet.
Right.
And yet. So anyway, let's not extort or bribe people.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes you a shitheel.
Right.
Okay. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, obviously.
I mean, is it though?
Well, I'm a matter. What
a matter?
I guess it depends on what the matter is.
Right. Yeah.
Like if it's a issue, like issue in quotation marks, like we're having an argument about something, then the end is better than the beginning.
Well, we're back to these like black and white statements here. Like this is what's bothering me. We're right back into statements that are very similar to what we were reading in the last couple of chapters or last couple of books. And why are we back in the same type of like back and forth white and
because
black and white statements.
That's the section of the Bible that we're in, though. They stuck all of these so-called wisdom literature all in the same section.
Got it.
So although the first couple chapters were like pretty and poetic,
I like
seems
them.
like we're back to the previous 2 books of just wisdom.
Yeah, right.
So-called wisdom.
Yeah, I like the first few chapters of this, but I'm getting annoyed now.
Right. Now we're back to where we were, and it's not as fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, the end of some undisclosed matter is better than its beginning.
Okay, whatever.
And patience is better than pride. I'm gonna say
I don't. What are we referring? Like, we did this all through Proverbs where we argued every single point.
I know,
like,
I don't know. Is it?
I just hate the black and white statements.
Well, when you say patience is better than pride, that makes me think of the question: would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And I always answer that question incorrectly because the answer is supposed to be, I would rather be happy, in which case I will allow you to take the answer and pretend that you're right, even though you're fucking wrong, because in the end, does it really matter? And so let's just be happy and get along. Right. And so I always answer that incorrectly because I'm like, no, I would rather that we both be happy with the correct answer. Right. And if that means I'm wrong, I'm fine with that, but I'm not just going to like back down
because
and
you
say
want me
you're
to.
right and have that mature patience to let you think something that's incorrect. Right. And it's not a pride issue for me. It's no, but I just want the right answer. And not only do I want the right answer, I want everybody to have the right answer. And then we can all be happy together. Right. And that's what this reminds me of. Yeah. And so I don't like it.
No, I don't either. I mean, like I said, I don't like these black and white. Like, you and I have had a discussion about patience and pride and whatever. We've had these discussions amongst ourselves outside of the Bible and outside of this podcast. And there is a place for both. Yeah. But
like, when it comes to certain people in our families, in our extended families, you always point out to me, it would be better to just be patient, be the bigger person, and just let them have it, blah, 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 because it's family and it's more important to just get along. And you are way better than that. You are way more emotionally mature than I am in that. And I'm still trying to find my place between either choosing this moment to stand up or back down, and to ask myself, is this a moment that requires a right answer where we can all be happy with the correct information, or when I am indeed just letting my pride not allow me to let this person be over me? Yeah. So, yeah, we have talked about this because we both
But again, there is a place for both types of scenarios. Yeah. And the black and white is not, it's not okay.
It's not okay. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools.
It's same vein.
Sometimes,
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same discussion we just had.
Don't make rash decisions out of anger. Sure, I'll agree with that. Yeah. Like, don't ever punish your children out of anger. Right. Like, people sometimes they'll spank their kids just because they're so mad. Right. Like, no, send them to their room, give it a minute, and then, think about why you're so mad and,
and what the correct punishment should be.
Right. I'm not saying don't punish your child. Right. I'm saying don't spank out of anger.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Right. Don't beat your kids. For God's sakes.
Right.
Okay. Do not say, quote, why were the old days better than these? For it is not wise to ask such questions. Ooh, I know some Republicans that could take that to heart. They're always talking about some old days.
And hell, their whole campaign's based on that. Make America great again.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, are you talking about them old days when women stayed in the kitchen and black people were still the ones in charge of raising your kids so that you could go be white out in public? Right. Like, is that the ones? Yeah. The ones where we had slavery? Them good old days?
You know it is.
Well, I'm not for that.
Yeah. Me either.
I personally, as a woman, like having the vote and like being able to be a co-host on the podcast. Right. I rather like being an equal. Thank you. Yeah. Have a nice day. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. I I mean, wisdom is good. Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
No arguments.
Yep.
Wisdom is a shelter as money is a shelter, but the advantage of knowledge is this. Wisdom preserves those who have it.
I mean, money can help preserve you too.
But you gotta be
buy
smart.
a lot of comforts.
You gotta be smart enough to know how to spend it properly, so you don't
Not
waste it on a
too
yacht.
Much. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, you don't really have to worry about where you're spending your money.
But you also, it's the invisible man syndrome. Like, what would you do if you knew that you couldn't get caught? That's the whole story of the invisible man.
Got it.
Right?
Right.
And that's what being too rich is. Your conscience is effectively removed.
Right, right.
And your brain is warped. So,
obviously.
Yeah. So don't be invisible and don't be too rich. Because your brain done gonna get warped.
Yeah.
Consider what God has done. Who can straighten what he has made crooked?
Say that again?
Consider what God has done. Who can straighten what he has made crooked? Like a river, like a crooked river.
So I guess the answer is nobody, obviously, because
God's
God did it.
The bestest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So consider what he's done.
Okay.
When times are good, be happy, but not too fucking happy, you know?
Right.
When times are bad, consider this. God has made the one as well as the other. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Always find comfort in the fucking Lord.
Right.
And when shit sucks, then just be like, there's a reason for this.
Right, but I want to know why.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk to the dude.
Yeah, just get me enthusiastically on board.
Right.
Like I've always said.
If you got a great... Dude, you're God.
Yeah.
You should be able to just like implant this information in my head right now.
And you know what? If you're like, your brain would explode, I'll challenge accepted. If my brain explodes, it explodes. I'll take that risk.
What would happen right now if like God just implanted this information? I just started speaking God speak like right now.
Right?
Right?
That'd be awesome.
Right. I mean, wouldn't you take that as like, oh shit?
No, I would have a lot of questions and I would have a lot of arguments and I would have a lot of shit to say to you.
I'd be kind of pissed actually because I'm like, dude, you waited till we're running our podcast to do that?
Right?
Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Not okay.
Yeah.
There's no such thing, so it's
no,
okay.
I know.
Therefore, no one can discover anything about their future. I mean, we are tampering with learning how to do time travel. So
are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying we, got it or anything, but we are tampering with it. It is no longer a ridiculous theory. It is we might be able to do it someday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
With all that dark matter and time and distance and the collider thing, the Hadron Collider and all of those science-y physics things.
We just have to survive, ourselves.
Yes, to get there.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. In this meaningless life of mine, I have seen both of these. The righteous perishing in their righteousness and the wicked living long in their wickedness. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes bad people get
I love how
things.
I love how they started the sentence with this in this meaningless life of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Just you're okay.
If this is Solomon,
and you're not selling the righteous versus the wicked very well here. Right. You're like, okay, they live longer apparently. So,
well, I got to be honest. Like, I really don't want to hear this from Solomon, the
right.
wisest man and so fucking rich. Right?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, your complaining is a little bit like, shut the fuck up.
Right. Boo-hoo, fucker.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your shit, honestly.
Right.
Do not be over righteous, neither be over wise. Why destroy yourself? Yeah. Find the middle chair and be very happy and don't make your oatmeal too hot and don't make your oatmeal too cold and don't make your chair too big and don't make your chair too little. You gotta be the middle bear. Don't be the mama bear and the daddy bear and the baby bear. Be Goldilocks and find the one that's just right. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do not be over wicked and do not be a fool. Why die before your time?
Yeah, why?
Well,
why would you do that?
How is dying before your time even a thing if it's all in God's plan?
Right. Yeah, if God planned it, yeah, that's true.
You didn't
They're
die.
kind of going like they go against their own like God plans it all, but not,
But not really.
But you can still die before your time.
I'm like, but I couldn't.
But if that's the case, then God planned that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Can't have it both ways, guy.
Yeah.
You really can't. It is good to grasp the one and not let go of the other. Whoever fears God will avoid all extremes. False. I'm going to just go with false on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Wisdom makes one wise person more powerful than 10 rulers in a city. False.
Right.
I mean,
sorry.
You were so bored by these that you had to yawn.
I mean, yeah, it was
yes.
awful.
Indeed, there is no one on earth who is righteous. No one who does what is right and never sins. Then why are you saying don't be righteous if none of us is?
I mean, I think they're trying to say you try to live up to to live up to these ideals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that would be without sin. Righteous means that you try to live without sin. You fail, but you try.
Right, right.
Like, those are very separate things.
Yeah.
So to say, don't be righteous, and then be like, JK, there's no such thing as righteous. And I'm like, okay, you're stupid. Do not pay attention to every word people say, or you may hear your servant cursing ya. For you know in your heart that many times you yourself have cursed others.
I'm sorry, but I want to know if, well, I don't have servants or slaves.
No.
So there's that. But also, if I was a manager, I'd want to know if my employees were cursing me.
Well, I think this goes along with, I hear what you're saying and I don't disagree. However, having said that,
right,
this goes along with it's none of your business what other people think of you.
True.
And don't worry about.
No, you can't. Well, okay, look, I want to know only to improve myself. Like, I want to know what, like, when I've been a manager, I want my employees to speak their mind and try to make their lives better through me, right? Like, if there's something I'm doing wrong, I want to know about it.
Right.
So when I say I'm listening to my employees when they're cursing me, I'm listening in order to shape my management style, not to punish them for doing so.
So you're not saying like I'm listening behind secret doors. You're saying I'm listening. I have an open door policy to where they can bring their complaints to me, and I will listen and hear them out.
And if I overhear something, I'm not gonna. I mean, I might call them out on it, but I also am gonna do it in a constructive way, not a destructive way.
So you wouldn't be like, I heard you talking shit about me. You got something to say? Say it to my fucking face.
Right?
You wouldn't be like
never.
You might be like, so I heard you had an issue with blah, 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 and I wanted to hear more about that because, I hadn't really thought about it, and, maybe...
Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the matter. Let's see what we can do.
How would maybe you have done it differently?
Right.
Or, I hear what you're saying, bro, and you're probably right, but to be honest, I was in a rough spot. There was nothing else I could have done.
Sure.
So, it is what it is.
I think one of the biggest revelations that anybody ever has is that your boss is just a human being too.
Right.
So.
Right.
And sometimes that human being is a dick. Sometimes they're not though. So, it is what it is.
I remember once I had a conversation with the last boss that I had, and all of the employees that we had were really young because they were all cheerleading coaches, and so they were just all like college students and stuff like that. And I was in my 30s at this time, so I was more mature than them, but not as old as my employers.
Right. So
I remember her telling me something about that I had a better relationship with the employees than she did. I was the director's assistant. And so she let me handle a lot of the communication as the middleman kind of thing. Yeah. And we got into a conversation about it, and I kind of got the impression that it not bothered her, but that she didn't understand it. And so she was like trying to compliment me on why I had the better relationship. And I said, well, I'm not as intimidating as you are. And, and like the way I said it, I didn't mean it as an insult. Like, I'm just very like, bleh, shit falls out of my mouth because I just say what's on my brain. I'm not malicious. I'm just kind of thoughtless.
Sure.
And so she was like, they think I'm intimidating. And I just she was looking at me like, you said that to me, and also, wait, is that what they think too? And I was looking at her like, are you fucking stupid? Yes, you're the most intimidating person I ever met. And I literally told her that, and she was like, I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, you are very straight and very You have this air of maturity about you that like nobody can live up to. You are the boss lady.
Right.
And it's just amazing that you can have that talk with somebody and other people see you so differently than how you see yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But like then she started telling me how she thinks they see me. And like, I'm so open that like, yeah, I know I'm overly dramatic, immature, overly emotional. Like, yeah, you could tell me all that shit. I already know that.
Right.
So try to, I don't know, maybe be a little bit open to who you are as a person, but also be aware of who you are as a person.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with all that.
No,
but
I think it's good to talk with, if you can't talk with your boss, then it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that you be able to. I don't even remember where this whole conversation started, honestly, but
hearing other people curse you.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it's...
I don't say anything I wouldn't say to somebody's face.
Right. Yeah, no, that's how I've always operated.
But I do talk trash. But the thing is that the trash I talk is not anything that I wouldn't talk to the person about if given the opportunity.
Right.
If they were interested in my fucking opinion. But it's usually celebrities that I talk trash about. So.
Yeah, no, honestly, if I couldn't complain about my boss to my boss, I'd probably complain to their boss. So, I mean, I'm saying like, if my boss is not receptive to criticism,
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to deal well with that.
Right.
That's not something I can handle.
Right.
So that's going to get moved up the line because that person is not going to deal with me well.
Right.
Because I'm the type of person that's going to let them know
right.
what's on my mind.
Right.
As far as what I think is correct and not correct. So
and they're not going to like it.
They're not going to like it.
Yeah. All this, Solomon, the preacher teacher guy, continues. I tested by wisdom and I said, I am determined to be wise, but this was beyond me. Whatever exists is far off and most profound. Who can discover it?
I don't know.
Astronauts.
Yeah.
They can discover it.
Yeah.
So I turned my mind to understand, to investigate, and to search out wisdom, and to scheme of things, and to understand the stupidity of wickedness and the madness of folly. I find more bitter than death the woman who is a snare. Fucking women, you know the woman. She's the hot lip vixen.
Yeah, that
the
one.
honey lip
that
vixen.
One. Yeah, she got that honey on her lips.
Mm-hmm. Whose heart is a trap and whose hands are chains.
Damn.
She gonna get ya.
She's a honey lip vixen with chains, huh?
Mm-hmm. She gonna tie you up.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall, and your dick's gonna fall into her, and it's gonna be her fault.
Yeah, and it's all over then.
Yep. The man who pleases God will escape her. But the sinner, she will ensnare. Yeah.
Okay.
Try not to enjoy that sex with that honey lip vixen.
Mm-hmm. With the chains.
She gonna get ya.
I don't know. I mean, sounds like a good time to some people. But, I'm just saying.
I don't really know what to say about all this because it's ridiculous. Look, says the teacher, this is what I have discovered. Adding one thing to another to discover the scheme of things. While I was still searching but not finding, I found one upright man among 1,000. But not one upright woman among them all.
Oh my God.
Get the fuck out of here with this. What the hell?
These are a bunch of fucking incels.
Not just incels though. They're so... I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I cannot even with this. Not one upright woman in 1,000. Well, maybe you're looking in all the wrong places, asshole.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you're only looking in harems and bars and clubs.
Right.
Maybe, what about your mama? What about
Does your mom suck?
You, not one sister, huh?
No,
not one
not.
of your, I know you had like 1,000 sisters. Not one of your sisters was good? Did you
apparently
have
not.
any daughters? Were any of them any good?
Apparently not.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so annoyed with this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This only have I found. God created mankind upright, but they have gone in search of many schemes. The end.
We sure have gone in search of many schemes. You know what? It got us to the fucking moon.
I was going to say, we're in space now, head to Mars, so get the fuck out of here. Not one woman. Kiss my ass.
You're going to be steamed about that for a while.
Oh, I am. How dare? How fucking dare? Because I know who washes his undies. I'm just saying. I'm not... Look, I am not saying that women wash men's undies, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, in our household, husband does his own laundry, okay?
That's right.
Just putting it out there. Husband does
I wash
his own.
my own damn undies.
Right. And that's not like a man-woman thing. It's just the way it falls, okay? So, whatever. But in this life, in this story, in this Bible, I know for a fact that Solomon's harem, his wives, took care of cleaning his clothes, washing his undies, making his dinner, bringing him his food, teaching him his fucking ABCs or what the fuck ever they took for writing and reading back then.
Right.
Okay? I know it was all women doing all that work, scrubbing his toilet. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to tell me, well, I didn't find one woman that was good among all of them. Fuck you.
The Bible doesn't like women.
The Bible can lick my twat is what?
Certainly. Well, yeah.
I'm so fucking... This book, man. This book. I don't have good words. I'm sorry. That's all I got right now.
All right. So on that note, that was Ecclesiastes chapter 7.
It sure as fuck was.
And tomorrow we will be back with
Ecclesiastes chapter 8.
Yeah. We'll see you guys then.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.